Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Friday morning's live stream. We're starting a hair bit later this morning, but really excited about you guys being here this morning. If you're new here, my name is Tyler. I'm going to be helping navigate you through this wild world of day trading futures. Now, during these live streams, I'm going to be breaking down live price action, sharing my daily bias, and giving you real-time trades to give you a front row seat to all the action, all the stuff, all the good stuff. No fluff. If you're joining after the fact, you can jump right to the key moments using the chapter markers below. You'll find all the trades that I've taken along with detailed explanations explaining exactly what I was thinking and why. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to rock and roll and sorry, I just got back from hunting, as you can tell. I'm kind of a little out of the mode here. If you're looking to start or take your trading to the next level, I have a discount code for you. DTJ will give you 80% off Apex, and it will give you the most updated discount that Apex is offering. Right now, they're $33 for a 50K account or $29 for a 25K account. You can get that. All the links are down in the description, and codes are in the description of this video. So let's go ahead, open a prayer, and let's rock and roll. Father, we honor you this morning. We thank you for the opportunity to build wealth. Father, we thank you that we don't trade based on our old nature, but Father, that we receive from you what you have for us today. Father, we thank you we are led by the Spirit, not by our flesh. We honor you in our trading in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, let's go ahead and rock and roll. Good morning to you. We're starting a little bit later because I decided to go hunting this morning. So I went hunting this morning, saw myself a nice big deer, but was not able to get it. It was a little early. It was still dark. I could barely see it. Had a nice, it looked like it had a big rack on it, but it was almost too dark to see. I was like, what's that dark shadow moving over there? I was looking. I'm like, it's moving. It's a buck. It's walking straight towards me. And then I could see its antlers in the sky because you could see the sky was just, light enough to where I could see the outline of it. I'm like, this is huge. It's too dark to shoot anything, so ended up just watching it walk by. Not a bad dealio. So, okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the market and let's see what's happening here this morning. I elected to go hunting for two reasons. Why? It was Friday. And we had a large move day. We had two big moving days. Actually pretty much three. And it's very common to see right at open it to be very choppy, there to be not a lot of movement, to be very, barcodey, I should say. That's probably the best word for it. And it seems to me, that's exactly what we've gotten since 9:30. It's not any real opportunity. Here was our first close right at 9:44. There was an opportunity there for a quick short that quickly evaporated. Then we closed right here and failed to run that high. And then right there is I would say, our most obvious fair value gap, and it's probably on the 2-minute looking a little bit better right here. If it wants to do something, that's probably maybe where it's going to happen. Good morning, Pete, Wilhelm. Good morning. Glad to have you guys this morning. We're going to have a good time. Friday morning. Now, let me see here. We're going to mark out. I'm going to just get my levels here. If it wants to run, it can run. Nice move. The 930 model worked. You went red yesterday. What happened there, Pete? How convenient is that midnight open right in the middle of those new day opening gaps? Ooh, look at that. That's nice. That is real nice. Look at that. So 2 minute didn't give us anything too big of a candle there. The 1 minute didn't give us anything either. So no opportunity there. 30 second. It did. 30 second gave us one right here. The close right here ran that low. Sorry guys, I'm still getting things set up here. You know, I have some comments on that, Pete, and we'll talk about that. And we're gonna call it. Ooh, we got nice equal lows way down here on the. Inversion tagged again after we ran that low though. Not as appealing. If it got up to this wick right here, that would have been a breaker. It did get inside this fair value gap. Just let's be patient. Let's see if it wants to kind of go a little bit higher here. I literally just opened it. Yes, I do have some comments on this whole why we go red. I've talked about this multiple times. I think it is one of the biggest conversations we can have as traders, and probably one of the most important conversations, because we deal with this, issue of going red, not because I would say a majority of the reason is not because we took a bad, because we took a good trade and it went against us. No. Most of the time it's because we took a bad trade. And why did we take those bad trades? Or why did we take that, B- trade? It's something that I deal with. So we're going to talk about that. I think that's going to be a good conversation to have. So Deborah, good morning. Greg, good morning. Big loss on reversal and got emotional and tried to ride it, and of course got wrecked by some sell side liquidity. Yeah. We're gonna talk about, not because of what you said, Pete, but I was thinking about this morning. So when you go hunting, here's the thing: it's silent, and you have the opportunity to either distract yourself on your phone, waste your time on your phone on social media, or really take in the nature around you and spend time with the Lord. And that's what I got to do this morning, which was really nice. It was a little nippy, but I mean, that's why you got gloves and a coat on. But yeah, when I was talking about some of those things that I was touching on just a few minutes ago. Our first fair value gap is right here at 942. No, there's one right here. And look at that. So here's our first fair value gap at 932, and we got to include this volume imbalance. And look at that. We included this volume imbalance from that candle's low. And see how there's this gap between the close of this candle and the open of this candle? We got to include that in this fair value gap. And when we do, look what it nicely covers. This candle's high. Yes, these wicks all went out, but look at where the bodies are. The bodies told the story of this conversation. And it's signals like that just give the nice bit of confidence that says, all right, we just wicked these relatively equal highs right here, and we closed in it. We might actually be going lower. And that's what happened at 10 o'clock, 10:04. We went lower. So being patient and waiting on signals like that is really important. Got this breaker right here. Oh my, and then here's a potential breaker. So we got a high, low, higher high. And then right here, look at that wick right there. Look at this candle's low. And this candle's high. What does it magically line up with? I haven't figured out how to be able to tell which one it's going to do that, because if it was me trading, I would have thought it would have been this right here. I would have went short right there, but it found resistance in this first fair value gap, as you can see. First fair value gap. And then we dropped through this, inverting this on the 1 minute. But we have this other fair value gap, so we can't do that, anything there. It runs this low and aggressively taps the lowest portion of these down close candles. This down close candle actually doesn't touch it. It touches this candle. So if we go down the 30 seconds, the same. Just nice storytelling that we get. Even though we're not taking the trade, even though we didn't take anything, the storytelling's nice. Also, we have our opening range gap, which was from right here to right here. It closed it immediately. That was our opening range gap. So that filled immediately. Look at all those equal lows right here. If we can get a 30-second inversion to the downside, that would be a nice trade. The way I would want to see that take place is something like this. Back up to this fair value gap again. Maybe even tapping this breaker like we just saw, and then running those lows. If it runs right now, it will go without us, but I'm looking for something that's clean. We're getting a lot of barcode-y type price action, overlapping price action, which tells me don't trade this. So even though we're really close and it's like, this is obvious, I'm going to go short right now. What could happen? It could come back up here, run these relatively equal highs, and then run lower. We just don't know how it's going to behave. So I want an inversion, a model for an entry that I can actually take. And if it can react off of a fair value gap like this and a breaker, that just gives me more confidence towards relatively equal lows that are sitting right here. Look at that 4-hour volume imbalance that we marked yesterday when we were looking how high could this go. It turned on that volume imbalance right here. I remember us watching this right here when we came up into it, and it rejected this. Well, it eventually came up through it, bounced off at one time, the first time, and then aggressively fell for a large portion of the morning right there. And guess where it stops at? I mean, isn't that crazy? Stops, fills that volume imbalance, and then goes the other direction. Now, obviously, we didn't do anything because it was early in the morning, but it's things like this that show up in price action that just, man, it just gives you the confidence that you're moving in the right direction. I'm going to mark this breaker right here. Get everything set up. Sorry, I keep starting to set stuff up and then I abandon it and I start talking here. Dang it. So I just got in this breaker from a breaker short, but it is not copied. So this is a one contract trade. Let's see if it wants to, how it wants to react here.
Order submitted.
I'm going to go for 10 handles.
submitted.
So I have my standard stop loss of 10 handles. And I have a 10 handle, so this is a 1-to-1 ratio. Let's see if this breaker wants to play out. I think it's reasonable. We still have these equal lows that are sitting down here. That makes it more attractive. And that's the main reason why. We've also are super high extended, so I don't think I would go for a long. Let's see if we can get, we'll sell 4 here and see if we can get a runner to run to the lows. Okay. Got filled there. Move the rest of our last runner to just below break even to stop us out in profit. Now if this wants to run the other direction, we need to watch this because we could have a nice push higher if it wants to go higher, because we do have this breaker that's sitting right here, a bullish breaker. We want to see if it can push through it. This is why I also just put a 10 handle here, because I saw this breaker sitting right here. I want to see if it wants to push through it. Fortunately, this is not a copied trade, so this is only one. I did not copy it on all my accounts. Our next opportunity to add to our position is going to be here. I'm probably not going to add to the position because I'm already in the trade. But if we can get a close beneath this on the 1 minute, we can potentially target those lows. You know what? I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to secure that. I'm going to go ahead and just secure that because this was not copied, and I would prefer to copy my accounts. Here's another breaker level right here that we tagged, also overlapping with this fair value gap. And then we have this fair value gap right here. I'm not really looking for longs at the moment. I don't trust them, but we are at all-time highs. So I think what I would be more interested in is a 1 minute or 30-second close above this level right here. And if we do that, then we could potentially sweep these highs and run for all-time highs again. I don't know if that is all-time highs or not. No, it's not. All-time highs are sitting up there, so let me mark that out. So there's all-time highs. So we got the midnight open. We got the daily the new day opening gap, and we have all-time highs sitting there. So nice 10 handle win for us starting off the morning. That's not bad. I mean, it gave it to us. It was a nice formation. On the 30-second, you could see the candles respect the bodies. Gave us 10 handles. It gave us 15 handles, really. $20 handles. You could have got 20 handles out of that. So our idea was that we were going to go all the way down here and run these equal lows, and we haven't yet. And it doesn't have to get us a trade. So I want you guys to look at this. I want to use this as a quick lesson, and this is from ICT directly, and I think it's a lot of wisdom. So we wrote out a trade idea. We said I would like it to see here, and I would like it to go here, right? Well, it did that. It went up, it hit this breaker, we took our short, but what didn't it do? It didn't hit our equal lows. It doesn't mean we can't take the trade. It doesn't mean our trade failed. We took a trade here and we were able to get 10. You could have gotten 15, 20 handles out of this move right here. It just didn't run all the way in that one shot. It's now coming back up. So did this trade idea fail? Technically, it didn't complete, but could you have pulled money out of the market? Absolutely. This is why he talks about, he's like, you don't have to see your target hit to be able to be profitable. You just have to have your idea overlapping with confluences that make sense with the bias to be able to take a trade and pull out money. And that's exactly what we were able to do here. It didn't run to our target. It didn't. I was wrong on the final outcome of this red line that I wrote out here. But we were still able to pull out 10 handles for a trade. And that is what trading is all about right there. Hit that like button, folks. Hit that like button. Holy cow, that was hot. Wow. If you appreciate the commentary, I would be very honored with a like. So thank you. At this moment, we're going to watch this. This is the only fair value gap that makes sense right now. Okay? We're going to watch this 1 minute fair value gap to this low resistance liquidity sitting right here, overlapping with midnight open and the new day opening gap. That is our most obvious long opportunity. It makes sense. We ran liquidity here to the downside. We do have this sell side liquidity, or these equal lows down here, that makes it just not quite as desirable. If we would have done one of these numbers, ran that low, and then closed above it, that would be, gorgeous. but it doesn't always give us the gorgeous setups that we want. It did not close over the 30-second. Keep in mind, this is the price action we're coming out of, so do not take a short on the close of this fair value gap. I think that's just premature. I like the idea of an order block being put right in this fair value gap and a close above it. That makes this a little more attractive. It did not give us a close. I really wanted it to close and close above this order block at the same time. That would have been attractive, but now let's just be patient and let's see how price wants to go. The thing about when we start creeping up like this and it starts creeping up like this, it's not always the best to take the long when it closes above. My favorite inversions are the ones that close aggressively very quickly. So patience is everything right now. Patience is everything. Not forcing something, not assuming something. Just letting price do its thing. I do like this inversion. Now, granted, we do have this volume imbalance right here. That just makes this a little less attractive. But to be safe, we should probably include that. So on the 1 minute, we need to close below this, including that volume imbalance to these equal lows. Let's get rid of that 4-hour wick. Now, if somebody's stopping by to drop off some football pads, our football season's over, so I may have to answer the door here at some point. I like the momentum. So here's the question for you guys. Would you take this long right here? Would you take this long? We come here, we close above it. Would you take that? Yes or no? Oh, holy cow. Sorry. Would you take this long right here, folks? We move lower. We created this fair value gap sitting right here. Would you take that long if we close above it now? This is a good example. We did sweep this low. This does make this look attractive, but this is the fair value gap I think that really needs to be paid attention to. It's the one that's held down price. So assuming you close above this one is assuming, taking a long here is assuming we're going to close above this one. Well, this one has already shown resistance twice. So we need to me, this is the parent fair value gap over this one. It's the predominant fair value gap that I would want to keep my eye on. It doesn't mean you can't take it. You just got to be willing to move your stop to break even the moment you hit these swing highs. Either take your profit right when you hit those highs or absolutely move your stop to break even when you hit those highs. But either way, I think I like a move to the downside more than I do the upside anyway. Hey. Give me a second, folks. I'll be right back. What? I'm on a live stream, but I told him I'd be right back. All right, we're back, folks. This is the stuff you want to stay out of. Don't think that because, oh, there's an inversion, there's a fair value gap, it broke it, it has to run these highs. It doesn't have to. This one did, but then it was really, I mean, it's just too small. I'll wait for a better move. Trading is not for the impatient. So do you guys like, which one would you prefer to take? This one to the long side or this one to the short side? Which one would, if one presents itself, what would you prefer? Which one would you have more confidence in taking? Okay, more, I would agree with you. I think the short is more attractive. That's what the 5 minute looks like. We did rebalance all of this area, all this downside move. And I think it's a 100% permission to move lower. So I think what I'm going to do, just to make sure I'm protecting profits and positions and everything, I probably won't even take this long. Even if it works out, I prefer the downside move. So waiting for your preferred move is how you keep more money in your pocket. You don't take everything that presents itself. This is a lesson I continue to tell myself. And I continue to have to relearn. Because when you get bored or you have a loss, it's like you forget all the rules that you know you need to trade by. And you take poor setups. I think the higher time frame structure, also it being Friday, that's the weekly candle. Where's 20% of this? Let's find out. So there's 23%. Sitting at 21,000. So it's 100 points lower than where we are right now. So with a big candle like this, I see a larger wick than anything. So I'm interested in just downside moves today, folks. I don't think I'm going to take anything long. All right, I got somebody showing up to drop off some football pads. I'll be right back. oh, look, I'm back. And nothing happened. Nothing happened. So I was just talking with one of the guys that dropped off some stuff, and okay, so if I haven't been clear and obvious, I am I voted for Trump. Just because, I mean, I can't, as a believer, I can't vote for everything else that Kamala and the Democrats stood for. So, voted for Trump. You know what's crazy? We're just chatting here because there's nothing happening right now. So, if you don't want to be on the charts, really, I'm looking for a short. I'm not going to take this long because I want to see the downside. So, hopefully we get something here in the next 15 minutes, or maybe it will happen over lunch. Lunchtime typically after a big move day is a better opportunity for a move lower. But so within 48 hours, Russia said they're not going to abandon the dollar. China said they want good relations with the United States. Hamas said they want to end the war with Israel. Within 48 hours. If you know anything about the Epstein list and the P. Diddy case, about all the pedophiles and all of the disgusting crap that's going on in inside Hollywood, Obama has left the country. Tom Hanks has left the country. There's another actor from Pretty Women that left the country. In California, there was a series of fires inside of neighborhoods in a very select area that randomly caught on fire the day after the election. I'm just saying. Trump getting into office is exposing a lot, or is scaring a lot of people that are doing a lot of bad things. And I hope justice is, I hope they're in prison the rest of their lives. I hope they get put in prison the rest of their life. Disgusting crap. So I watch all that stuff and I'm just like, man, it just blows me away how much people got away with in the Biden administration. Already outside the country. All right. I like these relatively equal lows. I don't like that we didn't sweep this high. I would have preferred to sweep this high right here. That would have been ideal. $11 a.m. is just around the corner here in 1 minute. This is the hourly candle, and this is how we close. We close inside the last hourly candle. This is going to make for, it will run either the high or the low. in the next hour. So it's not going to stay inside this. It's going to run. And if I had my preference, it would be this low down here. That's what I would like to see. All right, there's 11 o'clock. There's this 30-second here. That could be an opportunity. If you want to be a little more aggressive, that would be an opportunity to this swing low right here. See if it wants to close or not.
Order submitted.
All right, I'm going to take that. We already ran that low. Technically, I should be at break even. So I'm going to move my stop to break even here. Because we ran these equal lows right here. Those are the equal lows that were ran right here. So we're looking at this low and this low. Okay, so there it stopped at break even. That's okay. I would rather be stopped at a break even. If I'm going to hold for a run, I don't want to get burned by it running one point of liquidity. Here's a breaker right here. Let's see how it reacts with that. Nice move there. Nice move.
Order submitted.
I'm going to take that off the momentum. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's see it run this. See if it wants to run there. Okay. Okay, I'm putting my stop to break even. I would like this to run to these equal lows, and that's what I'm going to hold for. Let's see if it can reach down aggressively for that without stopping me out. We did not close below this 30-second fair value gap here, or the 1 minute. The 1 minute needs to close. Still no close. It's worth taking profit right here, guys. It's worth taking profit. It's 10 handles. This is the last chance. If we can't close below here, I'll be looking at closing that. The next point is going to be this swing low right here.
Order submitted.
All right, I'm taking 2 contracts off. Because we did not close below it. That is the main reason. And look how we reacted. I said I wanted to see it close below. It didn't give me that. I took profit. I didn't take all of it, but I took some of it, and then we run back higher. So main reason, these are the types of days you just have to take profit. I just have to take profit. I can't just sit and wanting to see these large runs because I'm going to get stopped out at break even.
Order submitted.
My accounts did not close, so I just closed them. For whatever reason, it did not close. Okay, so I'm even more confident about that low at this point. Now that we swept this low, I would like it to sweep these highs. So what I would like to see is this. That's what I would like to see. We ran lower, did not violate it. I want to see a sweep of these highs, still staying inside this fair value gap, to be honest. And then just a nice little wick, and then an aggressive move lower. Something like that would be nice. I need to make it one of my rules where I just take 10 handles out of days like these. Because, I mean, look at the charts. Like, the probability of me timing the market to get a large 30, 40 handle run is very unlikely. But for whatever reason, I convince myself that I'm going to catch the big move. And so I don't take large enough profits when I do get my 10 when I get my 10 handles. I just need to take more profit at 10 handles, because this market will consistently give us 10 handles It may not always give us 20, 30, 40, 50 handle moves. But that's the second trade where I didn't take profit at 10 handles, and I could be up very nicely by just taking those 2 trades at 10 handles. That it is absolutely something I need to improve on, and just psychologically become okay with taking 10 handles in this type of environment. The environment is not conducive for giant moves. And when you do, you get them out of nowhere. You get them when you don't expect it. So I just need to be okay with grabbing 10 handles instead of trying to get that 40, 50 handle move. I mean, once you start getting those 40, 50 handle moves, they're very addictive. That's what you want to get again. And I need to be okay with getting base hits. I need to be okay with getting my money and walking away. And twice I didn't do that. We did get 10 handles before, but that was only on one account. That would have been nice if I had that on all accounts. I mean, if I do that with 5 contracts, holy macaroni, that's $1,000. So I need to see it a little bit differently, and I need to be able to recognize these days the environment that we're in and change my rules accordingly, change my expectations accordingly. It looks like we'll probably run this high. That's my expectation is if we aren't going to get the lower side, we may come up here, do it, grab this liquidity. I'm hoping we just grab this liquidity and we don't run these highs. That's what I would prefer. We got an hourly high sitting right here. I'd like to run these highs and then change directions. I can feel the difference. I'm reading the Apex payout rules. That's what I'm reading right now. Looks like some of these rules are old rules. And for those of you that are on here, I do trade with Apex. I have 5 funded accounts that I'm currently trading. I at this point, with seeing this liquidity ran right here, us finding support in this fair value gap, I do want to see these highs ran. My expectation is that we will run those highs. That's what I want to see happen. So I want to see price come up here. Now, what we do once we run these highs right here, I don't know. I would prefer it to fail, to just wick above these and then run the other direction, but it may not do that. I know what I'm looking at right now is these equal lows. We also have this London, no, that's not even London low. That's 6 a.m. That's London low. Now, I do absolutely see the potential for still a bullish move higher. When you see this consolidation right here and you see a run lower, to me, this is a market maker buy model. Consolidation, accumulation, or distribution, and then we have the accumulation and reaccumulation. I don't want to see that, and if my bias is wrong, then I'll accept that. I like the target of these equal lows, and that's what I'm willing to try to trade for. Pete, I have used my funded futures. I don't mind them. But did you hear about the newest prop firm that just failed? What was it? I saw people talking about it. I've been with Apex. When I chose a firm to use as a prop firm, one of my biggest, because I knew this is a very volatile industry, the first thing that I did was I found the longest and most creditable agency out there, and that was Apex. Hands down, it was Apex. Now, Apex and My Funded Futures and Top Step are all companies that has a good reputation in the trading community, despite what people say about Apex. After they came out with their newest update, everybody that complained about them, I discredit any of those complaints because they were all not legitimate. But the reason I chose Apex was because of how long they've been in the business, their history, and so far I've never had a single issue with them. So that's kind of my little story with all of this funded accounts, these funding accounts. I will say My Funded Futures has definitely a better user experience for sure. Better user experience when it comes to their dashboard, their metrics. Looks really, really nice. Apex looks like they're have a website from the 50s. They weren't even in from the 90s, I should say. It looks like a website from the 90s. But they pay out. They pay out. J Trades, welcome, my friend. Glad you're here. Thank you for the compliment. The goal was to make it abundantly clear what this channel is about and to draw the right type of people. Anybody's welcome. Anybody and all are welcome. Just those that want nothing to do with Christianity, they probably aren't going to want to be here. Yeah, I mean every single person. The biggest one was all of these traders would say, "Oh, I'm green. I didn't get a payout." And what Apex came out and revealed, and they basically debunked all of these phonies out there saying that they're not getting payouts. They didn't follow their rules. One of the rules and one of the reasons why they didn't pay out is if I'm getting in and let's just say I go long with one contract, my drawdown can be up to $2,500, right? If it's a brand new account. These traders would go long, and their drawdown would get to like 2,000. They wouldn't sell it. Then it comes all the way back up, and then they sell it for a profit of $200. That's not a profitable model. To have significant drawdown and then hold it long enough to then get a payout of 200, that's not a model they want to encourage. So they rejected those payouts because it's gambling, right? If you want to get payouts with these prop firms, you got to be consistent. Consistent stop loss, consistent profit target, right? And obviously you can change your targets like I have. And I'm kicking myself in the butt specifically today because I missed 2 opportunities to collect 10 handles. I could be up $200 to $400 per account simply by taking the profits that were given to me. And I chose not to do that. And I don't regret it, but I'm going to learn the lesson and I'm going to take profits. If I want to hold for a bigger move, take more contracts, sell half of them, hold the rest. Yeah, it needs to be a realistic number. Now, if you're trading with more contracts, that number is going to be larger, right? If you're consistently doing, let's say, a drawdown of 1,000 and making 1,000, well, then that's different. It's a consistent model. But their point is that these traders are going into so much drawdown and then just getting out by the skin of their teeth in profit on a trade. They don't want to encourage that. And I think that was the big, oh my, that makes sense. That's why when people would show their accounts, you can't see why, you can't see why they would have been rejected, because it was all unrealized losses. Okay, so we might be closing here. Nope, no closes. Winning Circle Trader, bro, you going hunting? I did go hunting. I finished. That's why I started late this morning. I went out early this morning, got back around 10 or 9:50 New York Standard Time and jumped on stream. I didn't miss much. I did see a nice big buck, but it was too dark. I could see the outline, and its head was above the tree line, so I could see its nice rack, but it was too dark. It was about 20 feet away. Even still, it was exciting. All right, so now that we ran this high, I would like these highs to not be ran. I want it to sweep like it just did. What I'm looking for is now for it to aggressively move the other direction. Based on the time, it's 11:30. My guess is we're not going to do that. Honestly, it probably has to. So even if we sweep these highs, that's still okay, I think. We could sweep those highs and then run this direction, run lower. I would be okay with that. I'm not taking any longs. I'm only interested in shorts. Nice job. Way to go. Way to pass an account. I'm going to be adding an account to my list of accounts. I will be honest with you, the past 2 weeks have not been beneficial to my P&L. I haven't seen major increases. It's been pretty stagnant because we've had such crappy price action. And I wasn't being patient enough because I was becoming overly frustrated on how horrible the price action was and how crappy the moves have been, that I became impatient. So I predominantly, Pete, I do 50K accounts. I did that because I wanted the larger drawdown limit of 2,500. The one I just recently passed was a 25K account because I know I can pass them, and I know I can keep from hitting that 1,500 drawdown limit. So I'm thinking to myself, why not start getting payouts sooner? Because I'm not going to use more than 4 contracts anyway. I only use, max is going to be 1 or 2 contracts. So for the model and for the style of trading that I want to do, 1 contract with 10, 20 accounts for 10 handles, that's $2,000. 2 contracts, that's $4,000. So I mean, I have to continue to remind myself that, because I get my head in the clouds and start thinking of all of these giant profits that I could get if I go larger contracts, and I have to remind myself that, man, making $4,000 a day, you are a millionaire. Not quite. $5,000 a day is a millionaire. I mean, it's a lot of money to make $5,000 a day. So I need to get, it's just so elusive to want to try to get giant, huge wins. And 10 handles will get, I can become a millionaire with 10 handles. I can become a millionaire with 10 freaking handles. And I continue to battle with remembering that fact. I mean, even today, I'm telling you guys, why didn't I take my 10 handles? Why didn't I take my 10 handles? Because I wanted to get the 20, 40, 50 handle because it would have looked great. I could have made a video on it. It would have been nice. I could have, everybody would have saw me get a big move. Do you see what I'm saying? All of these other factors just cloud the vision of the possibilities of freaking 10 handles. So I consistently have to remind myself, 10 handles, bro. 10 handles, and your life could change. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot at all. You can be consistent in making 10 handles. Boom. Get five accounts and 5 Apex accounts. Then get to 10 Apex accounts. Then get to 15 and 20 Apex accounts. If you can do that consistently, and bro, you literally are going to change the way you live your life. It will. But because it's so methodical and so systematic, and it's not sexy, it's not fancy, it's not flashy, it's like we lose sight of the truth and become enamored by these giant moves we see on X, that we see on YouTube, and it's like, man, I want to do that. I would feel amazing. Feel amazing getting 10 handles. I think the thing about it is now personally in my own trading journey, I have not gotten to 20 Apex accounts, and I have not done what I'm saying. The max I've been up to was 10, and then I left a contract on, got out accidentally. It put all my accounts in severe drawdown, and I ended up losing all of them. And so I'm rebuilding them. So stop loss, it depends on the model that you're doing, Diane. But let me finish this and I'll read the comments. But the thing is, like, I think the issue most people have is when they're not there, they have to have faith and believe and have the picture so clear in their mind that all of these other distractions that you push away all these other distractions. You have to have such a clear picture and image of what you're trying to do and what you're willing to and what you want to accomplish, that you don't become enamored by the 40, 50 handle wins. Yes, I want to increase my trade size. I want to increase how long I hold my trades and go for these bigger moves. But on days like this where it's abundantly clear that nothing is running very aggressively and the odds of me trying to catch the perfect move is very low, I need to be willing to take the trades that present itself. All right, let's pause for a second. Here's a breaker on the 30-second, and then also here is a 30-second right here. Especially if we reject this and we move lower and close, that would be a nice trade to this low. No close. Dude, didn't close. Didn't give it to us. So important to wait for the close. Okay, the only way I saw, I'm still watching this, by the way. The only way I saw I could have traded this price action after looking to the left was on the 32nd. Lots of crazy manipulation. Yes, there was. Winner circle trader, less than 70 points range. Yikes. Yep. I just need to pay some insurance, not on $1 million. You got it. J Trades, I'm content with $1,000 a day. You betcha. $1,000 a day can do a lot. There's 200 trading days in a year. So let's just say you win half of them. That's $100,000.
Order submitted.
Don't do me dirty like that.
Order submitted.
Okay. Ended up taking a loss on that trade. I don't feel bad for taking that. Not at all. It did what I wanted. It just didn't hit my target and stop me out. Dumb question. Handle versus ticks versus points. What is the conversion or same thing? Handles are points, and points are 4 ticks. 1 point is 4 ticks. So a tick is 25 cents. A point is $1. And $1 is 1 point, and 1 point is 1 handle. My stop loss, Diane, on the inversion is a close above the point I took my trade. So I went short with this inversion. A close above this inversion is my close. So when this candle closed, that's when I closed the trade. That's why I closed that trade, because we closed above this inversion fair value gap that I went short on. So we closed below it. You can see it right there. We closed below. So I went short, wanting it to run this low right here. We didn't get it. It ran the other direction, closed, got out of the trade. That's the inversion model. If it was my breaker model, I would have closed it at 10 handles. 10 handles or 10 points or 40 ticks. Oh man, the 2 minute looks way better. The 2 minute did not close. This 2 minute might be the one. I might be willing to try this one more time. I think what I would want to see, if we close way down here, I would want it to come back up and touch this level or this wick and then run. Yeah, you bet. So this 2 minutes about to close. I do want it to come back up into this area up here. I can't get in short right there. That's too much of a drawdown for it to come all the way back up there. So it'll either run without me. Tiny little sweep there. Way to go. Hopefully it keeps running lower. But I just wanted to come back up a little bit higher first for me to get into. I thought about getting in short right there. I did not. I chose not to do it. Let's see if that was a wise move or not. There's not an obvious breaker here for me. There's this one here. If I was to take the low at the high of that inversion fair value gap. Let's see what happens at that level. We're coming up to noon. So I'm wanting to see if noon wants to run this. Low resistance liquidity here. And then here. Because it looks like it wants to be aggressive. So let's see how it closes on this, let's see, what does the 1 minute look like? Let's see how it closes on this 1 minute. Does it close? It did close on the 1 minute. I'm gonna do one contract long. I want to see if it wants to run that. It seems to be very aggressive.
Order submitted.
Let's see if it can get to this high. It's not 10 handles, so I'm not going to take any profit. But based on how aggressive this is, I think we may be running this low resistance liquidity that's showing up during the lunch hour. All right, there's our sweep of that high. Still, it didn't give me 10. It didn't give me 10 handles. 10 handles would have been right here. So right at these highs would be 10 handles. And just to stick with my word to myself, I will take it on this push higher.
Order submitted.
All right. Even though I have a feeling we are going to run this, I don't want to lose all of it because I wanted a bigger move. So I just took that long. Nice little trade there. So going back to why I said I didn't want to take any longs. What changed? here's what changed. We swept this liquidity and we aggressively closed above this fair value gap very quickly. We were here, and then the next candle we closed above it. This time is 11:48. We are in the noon macro, and when I'm seeing this around this time, I'm thinking we could run these highs. So I took a chance on a much smaller size because I was going against my bias. If I'm going to go against my bias, I'm going to reduce my size and I'm going to take a position. And I took that for 10 handles, got 10 handles out right here. And so far, it seems to be the right play. It has not continued higher. It could continue higher, and it'll go without me. Eva, new micro. I took a single micro, one contract. My normal size is 5. My normal size is I trade with 5 micros. $10 handles is $100. 5 accounts is $500. And then I go between 5 micros to 10 micros. That's usually what I do. 10 micros is 1 mini. 1 mini on 5 contracts is $200. On 5 accounts, that's $1,000. I think we're going to still go higher. Diane, I hope you were able to take profits while we were down there. All right, this is going to be ran. We will run this fairly quickly, in my opinion. To this high, we should run it fairly quickly. I don't see why it would want to take its time. It's taken its time all morning. I think this is where we go quickly. So let me clarify. If we don't run this level, I don't think we run the rest. If we run this level, I think we run the rest. All right, so there's that sweep right there, a tiny little sweep. Let's see if it goes aggressively now. Here's our next level right here. What did I say, folks? It just doesn't make sense for it to not do that. Just doesn't make sense to not do that. Do you guys understand why what my logic was and how I was able to predict that this was going to be done very quickly? Do you guys understand that? I mean, this is so important that you guys understand this. Who does not? Let me put this out there. For those watching, who does not understand why this did what I said it was going to do. Now, I didn't know it was going to do this, or my guess it wasn't going to do this until we ran this first level right here. We could have stopped at the midnight open, this new day opening gap. We could have turned right here. That's a real possibility. But the moment we wicked above this level right here, who does not understand why we ran to this high? If you all understand it, then I don't gotta explain it. I kind of did already, though. This is low resistance liquidity. Same reason we ran this really fast. We ran this really fast. We paused. At this point in time, I thought we could still reverse here. My expectation is we were going to run this high because it was the lunch hour. It's where we're coming up on 12 o'clock. We're coming up on 12 o'clock right here. I mean, what time is it? It is, it's 11:57. So we're in the noon macro. And what's going to happen during this macro? It's going to run on stops, typically. So when I see this aggression right here, I'm like, oh, we at least are getting to this high. Got my 10 handles and I got out. During the next 3 candles right here, I was not sure or extremely confident that we were going to continue higher. Why? Because we saw all of this price action. However, I was optimistic that we were going to hit this high. And then I said, all right, here's my expectations. We will run these highs if we take this first high right here. If we wick above this first high, then we should run these levels right here. And because it's low resistance liquidity. Give me 1 second, folks. Hello?
Call from Inside Performance Line Room. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2. At any time, you may press star to join the call.
My name is Alex Kurtz, 402-978-457. I was calling to get a hold of Tyler Bundy. I was on Zillow and I saw this property on 5607 Word Street, Omaha, Nebraska, 6104 for a rent. And I was calling for information for a tour and application. Again, my phone number is 402-917-8457. You can call or text. Thank you very much.
All right, so now that we ran this high, let's see what happens with price. Nice little market maker sell model potentially. Hey Tyler, good afternoon. I'm just hopping on to see what's up. This week has been a break-even week. It has been as well for me. Hoping for better movement next week as things settle from the election. Yeah, I think we should. I'm looking for shorts right now. Let's see if price wants to come right back up into here. I like the way this looks. And then to run these lows here. And then these equal lows down here would be really nice. I'm going to wait for a wick back up into here, and I think I'll take a short probably. It doesn't have to, but I want it to. Hopefully it doesn't go without me. This will be my last opportunity that I'll be shooting for. Did we wick into that? Not quite. All right. Dang it. Did it make equal highs there, or did it actually go in? All right, that's equal. So it didn't do what I wanted it to do. All right, I think this lunch hour actually could be decent trading. See if it gets better price action than we've seen. I want it to come back up into here. That's what I want for my entry. Doesn't look like we're going to get it. As far as if we just are dropping aggressively, we got the 2 minute, no, 3 minute. There's this 3 minute right here. That stinks when it doesn't give you what you want. You know what I'm saying? I just needed one little wick into there, and that would have been my opportunity. So we just filled this 3 minute completely, and now we're wicking up higher. What does the 5 minute look like? 5 minute. It's really hard for me to want to take a short when if this comes up here in one candle. Look out for Project X on Tick Trader. I want to see how it comes up into this level and if we find resistance here. Nothing really on the 5 minute here. Let's drop to the 1 minute. I'm watching this small fair value gap right there. If we close below on this candle here, I'm probably going to take this. Nope. I'm not taking it on the stab into here. I want to see how price reacts to this level. Quite the reaction, huh? Watching this 30-second right there. Nope, I'm not going to do it. I feel like this is too much manipulation here. That looks nice on the 3 minute, really does. Volume imbalances, let's see if it wicks up into here and fills those. I just don't like how it's delivering. So that's making me stay out. There's those volume imbalances filled.
Order submitted.
All right, Let's see if it wants to run. I took it based off of us filling those volume imbalances and closing red. This level right here will be moving to break even.
Order submitted.
This is 10 handles.
Order submitted.
So we'll shoot for 10 handles on this. If it's going to run that level, it should run this level. So we're going to run to that low. Still didn't give me my 10 handles. So if it stops me out, it stops me out. My minimum target's 10 handles. Just having a hard time. Yeah, those are equal lows right here on NQ on the mini contracts. We should run that level right there. There's equal lows sitting right over here, guys. This is on ES or on NQ, not the micros contract, but these are equal lows. That's why I have it there. If it wants to stop me out, it's going to be a break. It'll be a break-even trade. So it's a free trade, but this is where I'm looking for it to go. Here we go. Let's run it right now. There we go. We got a 1 minute order block. Let's see if it holds. Price is not ready to go there. Son of a gun. Boss level, close it. All right, there's stop out at break even.
Order canceled.
I did not close it because I need to get 10 handles specifically. Now it's probably going to run here. Let's see what happens. I don't see any opportunity as far as a continuation of this trade. I'm okay with getting stopped out at break even, guys. I'm okay with that. That is my model. It protects me from further losses, but also gives me the opportunity for getting the run if it's going to show up. It didn't give me 10 handles. It didn't hit this key level. That's indicative of the type of market we're in, and it's extremely difficult to try to time those runs. So you're just going to get more break-even trades on days like this where it comes to these levels. Now I see another 30-second right here. If there's an aggressive move lower, that's an option. This is right now a 1 minute. I had the 3 minute up here, so this normally is a 5 minute. It just didn't show it. The 5 minute wasn't showing me anything that I liked. So I switched it to the 1 minute so I could have the 3 minute up here. So, and you will always see in the top right corner, actually you can't tell on that one, can you? I don't know why. Huh. There we go. All right, so the time frame will be on the bottom of that screen there. It's maybe my last shot.
Order
We're going to take
submitted.
this. Break even will be if we run this low right here. Stop out will be if we run this high right there.
Order submitted.
All right, stops at break even. Made equal lows. I'm not going to let it come against me. Looking at, we're at 202, so 92 would be right here. Oh, there's a stop at break even. That's fine. Make sure all my accounts are out. Yep. That one made sense again for me to take. It was a downside move. We ran into our resistance here. Stayed below the wick of this, the consequent encroachment of this wick. And we closed aggressively. That's why I took it. We just had this really shallow stop loss. And as a result, it stopped me out. I could have... There are times I violate my rules, but I'll tell you that days like this are not ones that I should violate my rules. The chance of it going, I mean, it's 50-50 on if it wants to wick higher or lower. I mean, so I won't do that. See how it's coming back aggressively? That's what I'm talking about. It does things like this on days like this. So I'll take getting stopped out at break even way more than I will by saying, oh, well, I'm going to let it run because it didn't hit my target yet. It's really close. Then you get freaking candles like this. These candles are what destroy people. Right here. Boy, oh boy, I'm out. I'll take the break even, baby. Ricky, how you doing? Don't ask me why I'm still trading here, folks. I don't know why I'm still trading. I feel good. I think it's because I haven't gotten a 10-handle run with full contracts because I've had 2 10-handle winners, and it was on a single account, and I wanted it to copy, and it didn't for whatever reason. So it's a little frustrating on that aspect of it because I would be up roughly 20 handles on all the accounts, but my first trade didn't copy. That was disappointing. Hang on, folks. I got to take this. I got a rental property I'm renting.
Call from Tessa. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
This is Tyler.
Hi, yes, I was curious if you're showing the sewer duplex.
Yes, we are. I have a bunch of messages I'm going to be responding to, but I'll be showing it tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay, so it's like a group showing?
Yes. Yeah. I still have a tenant living there. They're just going to be moving out, so I'm being respectful of their space.
Oh, sure. Okay, so tomorrow at 1 o'clock, do I need to, like, sort of set anything up or just kind of show up?
Nope. If you want to just be there and show up at that time, we'll open it up. We'll let everybody walk through. And if you have any questions after that, we can answer those and then give you a link if you would like to apply and go over all those questions, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you there.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Hello. Excuse me.
Hi, Tyler.
This is Tyler.
Hey Tyler, it's Bill Schreiner with Lincoln Federal on the, here for the 22nd of November.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm the lender on it, just reaching out to you about the appraisal order here today.
Okay.
It did take a little bit, just tried to communicate it with them, not looking at me, you got it, so you should be getting a call from the appraiser.
That sounds great.
Not by today, but by Monday.
Okay.
And then, there was a couple of documents that Mo sent, that needed signatures, and I just need those back too. So
Yep.
whenever you get to those, just let me know.
I'm waiting on the sellers to get that to me, and then I'll get it over to you guys. Okay?
Sweet. Thanks, man. Have a
You
good
bet.
weekend.
You bet. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, see all that craziness right there, guys? This is why that break even just it's like a love-hate relationship. It's a love-hate relationship on that break even stuff. Today I'm loving it, but today I've hated it. It's one of those things you just have to accept. Now look at all this low resistance liquidity. Right there. I don't think it's going to run it. If it's going to run it, what I would prefer it to do is something like this. Run these lows over here and then run that direction. That's what I would want it to look like. That's how I'd have the confidence to take that trade, to run all of this liquidity, maybe up to this level right there, which is overlapping with that breaker. Because we did make equal lows here, I believe. Yeah, it's equal lows. I'm not going to take a long off of that. It's more likely to take a short off of that right there. But I'm not going to do that either. I mean, it's not bad, to be honest. So at this point, I think what I'm looking for, if I'm going to still take a trade, it's going to be this. I want it to come back up to that, sweep this high right here, run into this breaker, find some resistance, and then run the other direction. All right, let's see how aggressive it wants to be here. Is it going to stop here, or is it going to continue to move higher? This is very aggressive, so it's may move higher, but we just need to watch and see how it reacts to this level. Let's see if I could have got 10 handles off of it stabbing into that level right away. 10 handles would be, no, a lot bigger. These are just small. Looking bullish. That is just a setup for the PM session to destroy it. I'm not interested in going long, guys. I'm not interested in going long at all. This is what I'd be watching though. Close above that to see if it wants to reach that high. 15 and 1 hour setup is saying new all-time highs. It's free money. Why not? I disagree with what you're saying there. Why? 15-minute means this 15-minute candle is potentially bullish only to that point right there. It could still reverse right here. It could wick above this high, but it still doesn't have. It has to close. This 15-minute candle needs to close above this box for me to say all-time highs. This looks more like a rebalance of this low resistance liquidity run right here. All this price action rebalancing this area, waiting for a nice drop. That's how I see it. I could be wrong though. And the hourly, let's take a look at the hourly. Hourly is saying the same thing. We are in this 1 hour fair value gap. When we close above that 1 hour bit SIBI, I would be inclined to agree with you that we should see new all-time highs. But this has to close in the next 20 minutes above it. And this last candle, this last hourly candle wicked above and ran that high. So this candle did its job. This candle, we don't know what it wants to do yet. So I disagree. Ricky, every morning we pray before we start. Every morning. Low resistance liquidity right here. See if it wants to run this high. Closing above this fair value gap right there. Hey folks, hit the like button if you're appreciating the commentary so far. The analysis. I've been on almost 3 hours. All free for your entertainment and enjoyment. I would appreciate it. Looking back at my analysis, I was spot on the coming up into this level here. I just didn't take it. I was looking at this low right here, wanting it to hit that low, and it didn't. And I wanted it to be perfect, and I didn't take that short. If I would have went short right there, I would have been able to enjoy this nice low resistance drop right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I would have, honestly, that run's not that large. How large is that? If I got in at the high, not even 20 handles. Yeah, this is interesting. We are in a tight range. 10 handles is the way to go. Ricky, thank you, my friend. Deborah, thank you for hitting the like button. I appreciate it. I really do. I see downside too. That's kind of what I've been waiting for all day, making sure I don't get sucked into all these fake moves higher. We got equal lows there. We got equal lows there. I want to see a nice fat drop. This is a mitigation block here. That's the low of the block. This looks nice right there. So it looks like ES made new all-time highs while NQ did not. So we do have an SMT in the last 5 minutes. This high right here, NQ made all-time highs, or ES made all-time highs, NQ did not. Are you familiar with strat and broadening formations? I don't, Ricky. I only trade ICT concepts. I do not do any retail concepts. Doesn't mean they don't work. I just read the market based on supply and demand. Let me rephrase that. I read the market based on liquidity and imbalances. So meaning this was an imbalance right here. Price turns. This is an imbalance right here. Price turns. These are equal lows. This is liquidity sitting down here. It's engineering this liquidity by making it seem like price wants to find support here. Once it engineers enough buy stops sitting here for people thinking it's going to go longer, it's going to aggressively run through it like nobody's business. And so my goal is to find the short that's going to capitalize on that run. I thought it was going to be here. I was wrong. It could be coming up. It could be in the PM session. We could save it for later. But this 100% will be ran because the longer it sits here, the more stops will sit under here. So ICT Concepts talks about taking your trades towards where the liquidity is. Well, there's liquidity sitting right here. Oh my goodness, lots of liquidity. I mean, think about it. When you see this go right here and starts going higher and you think it's going to go higher, where are you putting your stop? Right down here. When it comes back down here and you see it doesn't run this low, where are you putting your stop? Right down here. You're trying to get along. You don't sell that position because you think it's going to go to all-time highs again, but it doesn't. And then it runs lower and then it runs all those stops, grabbing that liquidity. Doesn't mean it can't go to all-time highs. I'm just looking at what is price action showing right now. Systems revolution. I agree. There is so much. There is a lot. Here's the 5 minute. We got equal lows here. I think this is why I'm sitting on here still. It's because I've protected my accounts. I haven't taken any stupid trades. And I'm waiting for this to be ran. I'm waiting for that to be ran through, and I'm waiting for that to run. And I would love to be able to get it. We got volume imbalance right here. Let's see it fill that volume imbalance. up to this level right here, and then we'll see if it wants to continue higher towards that liquidity or if it wants to find resistance here and start moving the other direction. Be right back, folks. Gotta use the restroom. If we don't start running it shortly, I think I'm going to call it a day. I don't want to go higher. So if it wants to go higher, it will go without me. All right, we swept this high, this little high right here. Let's see if we can start moving lower. Low resistance liquidity sitting right here. Would like to see that ran into this fair value gap sitting here. Yeah, price action, it hasn't been the best, but it hasn't been horrible for the day that, for the way this chart looks right now. This chart looks horrible. Oh, I forgot to drag that first fair value. Let's see what happens. There's just no opportunity for me to go long. The only one would be a close above this fair value gap to then run these highs, but I'm not interested in that. I just don't trust it. So I won't take it. I won't take it. We got a lot of people coming and going in this stream. I know it's been a long time. I'm curious, for those of you that are jumping on or off, or you get on and you leave, what do you look for in a stream that says, yeah, this is boring, I don't want to watch this? Are you trading? Were you just looking for something entertaining? I'm just curious. Because we currently have 41 people watching right now, but we've had 300 people come through. We've had 300 people join at different points within the 3 hours. 43 are currently watching. What is it that makes people stay? Is it they find it entertaining? It's actually they're trying to trade, and other people that are just going back and forth through. They're just clicking on a thumbnail, looking to see if it's entertaining, and they're not trading. I'm just curious what you guys think. We've had a lot of people come through. Very interesting. There is nothing nice here. There's nothing pretty here. There's nothing attractive in what I'm seeing. Okay, we got maybe a little displacement. Let's see. Let's see if we can get some displacement here. That would be nice. Because with currently what I'm seeing, there is no trades gonna happen. Ricky, you are not wrong. Price has not been very helpful today. All right, so very sloppy high, low, higher, high with a fair value gap right there. Let's see if it rejects that. I would like to see it come into that right there and not violate it. Let's see where it closes, and I want it to run lower. It wicked into that one too. Let's see if we can drop at this point. I want to see it run lower. That's what I want. Because I don't want it to go higher, but if it's going to run lower, this is where it would do it. Equal highs on ES. Yeah. You think we can leave them there? Because I don't want it to go for it. The only thing halfway decent is that level right there. If we run this and close below it, we target that level. But the problem is, this is only, that's only 3 handles. Holy cow. All right, folks, we need bigger moves. How big is that? These equal lows to that high. That's barely 10 handles. Yeah. Folks, we're going to call it a day. I'm not liking how tight we are. It's low volume. It's choppy. We're going to choose wisdom. We're not going to make a selfish decision, a fleshly decision on saying, I want to stay on, I want to make more money, I need a trade, I need a trade. We're going to apply wisdom. And wisdom says, shut the charts off, walk away, because there are way better days than this. The range on this, guys, I mean, they're from this low to high is 40 handles. Yes, you only need a piece of it, but look how up and down we're getting as we're going through it. It's not worth it. It's not worth taking a loss and going negative. So we're going to call it quitsy. We'll be back on Monday. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you want, I share this every time, at least once. I'm launching a purpose-driven trading academy for those that would like to participate in that and also get access to the Discord that will be associated with the academy, where we'll do back testing, we'll talk through strategies. I'll be on there outside of when I'm not trading. If you would like to participate in that and get the lowest price that it will ever be, I'm going to be sharing that price with those that are on the wait list. I'll be launching that here in about 2 weeks, and that's going to be right here. If you want to join, feel free. There's no commitment by you clicking that button or putting your info on there. It's just telling me that when I do send it out, that you would like to know about it, so that you have an opportunity to get it at the lowest price that it will ever be. So feel free to check that out. Thanks for being here, guys, and we will see you next week. Have a safe weekend. God bless you, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.